YouTube. Alright, we sitting here with my battery low on my phone. I'm gonna have to charge that bitch before I shoot y'all in the next video. I just wanted y'all to see that it's sitting at 13.1 right now, 13.0 on this janky ass voltmeter that I got right here. That won't be the final product. I will have them down in the kick just like I have them down in the kick on my Cavalier. I have one on one side for the back batteries, one on the other side for the front battery. But we're sitting at 13.1 right now. I'll hit y'all back after and see what goes on after I do this big three. Peace and love. You already know what it is. Deuces. 13.1, 13.2. Peace. YouTube, you already know what it is. J Jones Car Audio 1, sitting out here doing the big three right now. And I just wanted to let y'all know that this was the little flimsy ass wires that they had me rigged on now. So you see what they got to run into. They got to run into the body, which isn't part of the frame. That's my first ground. And then they got the second part of the ground running down here. And as you follow it around, it comes to a bolt right where my finger's pointed at. You may not be able to see that right there. That's what the second ground is running to. But I'm going to use these two grounds right here as my two grounds, because these grounds both to the frame of the motor, or the body of the motor, and then they go straight down to the frame. So that's what I'm going to use. Just want to let y'all see that. This is the little ass wire that I'm coming from, and where it's running to, straight to the body, from the battery, straight to the body. And then you can see this one, if you trace it down, straight from the battery, all the way down to where I'm going to hook back up at, but it's going to be at a higher point, which is right there. Alright, I'll get back with y'all when I get done. Peace and love. Deuces. Alright, YouTube. J Jones Car Audio 1. You already know what it is. We back. I'm sitting here with the finished up product of the big three. We got the alternator positive right here coming off. This is the charge line that runs over to your battery. And whenever you're doing the big three upgrade like this, you don't really want to eliminate any wires. So the original positive charge line is still here. You know what I'm saying? I just added this on in addition to it. The only one that I eliminated was this one here. And I didn't want to do it like this. I originally had it here, but I wasn't seeing any change in my voltage. So I went ahead and ran it here where it originally was. Scraped the paint a little bit, of course, before you can't just lay this down on the paint and expect, you know what I'm saying? So you got to scrape that paint right there. But I'm eventually going to change this one. I don't like this here. I don't even know if my hood's going to shut with this here yet. That eventually may change. My second one is coming from right here, coming from this alternator case. Oh, my bad, finger in the way. It's coming up here to the negative, and then I've got my third one coming here. That's why we call it the big three, because it's only three wires that you're using in order to upgrade this whole system. See what I'm saying? So I'm eventually gonna have to get another battery or do something. This battery's fucked up, as you can see right here. How this bolt is missing. That's what these are tied into right here on the negative side. So whenever I go to run my charge line back, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna be an issue. So I'm gonna have to get some different lugs up here for sure. But that's here nor there. But that's the big three upgrade basically. So again, you have your alternator charge line that's coming off that runs to your positive. You know what I mean? You ain't taking nothing off. You're just adding to it. And then you got one that's coming here from your negative block. This is like the AC or some shit. You know what I'm saying? That's running up to the negative part of the battery here. And then you got one more that runs up here and comes here. This is the only wire that was eliminated, was this original one that ran here. So, yeah, that's my big three, and I'm seeing about 13.8. Let me go in there and show you the voltage now compared to what it was. I think I came up like 5/10 on that little janky voltmeter. Let me see if I can find my keys, and I can't. Shit, here they are. But like I said, once I get that stinger set up, you know what I'm saying, it'll be a totally different ball game. So right now we're resting at like 12.6. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's 12.6 right now is what it's resting at. And this truck that has been driven in a couple of days either, guys. So I mean, this is like basically like a, you know, cold start type shit. So right now we're sitting at 12.5. I don't know if you guys can see that. Like my crack on my windshield to be replaced soon. Stop hating. So it was like 13.1 I guess before, and you see it was sitting at 13.6 now. So I came up about 5/10, and out there I'm sitting at 13.9, 14. It keeps bouncing back between 13.9 and 14. So that's about what you want. That's a stock alternator, of course. So you know, can't expect too much from that. But that's basically the big three, guys, and what I got going on right now. The next step would be running through the firewall. I don't think that'll get done today. Probably be sometime next week when I'm off. Of course, I only had 2 days this week instead of 3, which was a bunch of BS because of that crazy ass holiday. So yeah, that's the big 3 upgrade, guys. Peace and love. Deuces. Yeah, YouTube, just a continuation on the video. This is a little bit of the wire that I ripped out of the truck. This was some cheap 4 gauge off eBay. This is another cheap, I do believe this is some, shit, let's see here. This is some Tsunami 4 gauge. This is some no-name 4 gauge. This is some 10 gauge, platinum actually, platinum 10 gauge power cable that was in there that I just ran the 4 gauge past. I just never ripped it out. And this black wire, wherever it's at, this was connected to my blue remote wire that runs to the back, or actually it's green, and then they had this on top of it. Why they did that, I don't know, because this was plenty, or the green was plenty to reach back where it needed to go. So, anywho, just keeping you guys posted. I'm out here working, man. Deuces.